Good evening. I hope you had a nice weekend and you've had a good start to the week. I was actually kind of smart today, I think, or smart might be an exaggeration. I turned the AC on before the stream started so that we could cool down a little bit, so hopefully I won't be coughing too much today. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's summer, and it's so interesting to feel. If you're on vacation, I have this, what should I call it, a theory or a way of viewing how much time you have left on your vacation. It's basically like this. Maybe it's not how much time you have left, but like how it feels on the vacation. So when you start your vacation, the first few days are like, oh my goodness. It's like infinite amount of time. I can just do whatever. I am so free. I can just do whatever I want. And you just take it calm and you relax and you just, do whatever you want. And then it feels like the vacation is never going to end until you hit like the midpoint, when it's like halfway there. And then after the midpoint, for some reason, it just goes really quickly, the last part. It just kind of runs through the last part. And I don't really know why. For some reason, it just feels like that after you hit the midpoint, and then everything just rushes so quickly. And I've seen this pattern, even though, hey JVB, nice to see you. Oh, you're the king today. I've seen this pattern if it's a weekend trip or if it's me being abroad for a year studying. It's the same feeling. The first half part of the vacation, the trip, or whatever it is, it always feels like, oh, it's never going to end, like we have for infinity. And then just in the middle point somewhere, then it starts to change, and it feels like, oh, I'm coming towards the end, and then it goes very quickly, the last part. How are you doing, JVB? Have you had a good weekend? A good summer? I can't remember. You're be on the throne. I can imagine. I never type there, so I'm never on the throne. I just look up to you guys, and I'm the what do you call it? The peasant who just follows around. You always have these amazing questions. Do you have anything? Because now there's not so many people here. We can, if you have something really nice you want to talk about, this is the time to throw one of those like cool questions you always have. If there's something you've been thinking about. If there's not, then I have a few things that I've been thinking about. I had one thing that occurred to me today. Last time we spoke about how I can't remember if it was Christian who said that he's been asking himself why am I not feeling good now, or like something along those lines. Why am I not feeling well right now? And this seems like a if you believe that your outer circumstances dictate how you feel, then that kind of way of thinking doesn't make sense. But if you don't see that as an absolute, which it isn't, then it's a very good question to ask yourself, like, why am I not feeling good today? And I had an experience today where I've been doing we call it long cook, like pasta bolognese, but you cook it long term. So I fried like 2 kilos of meat this morning and then made a pot, and it's been boiling, simmering from I think 10 o'clock until 4:30 in the afternoon. Hey Stephen, nice to see you. So it's been boiling for the whole day, and then in the evening. And then something I'm good at with cooking is kind of imagining spices. I can feel what it will taste if I add things, and I just smell, okay, I need some of this and this, and I can kind of know what the flavor is going to be of the dish and how I can change it. And I was doing it, and I just couldn't get it to work. I'm like, it doesn't taste the way it's supposed to. The kids love pasta bolognese when I make it like this. But it just didn't work. I couldn't get it to taste the way it was supposed to. And I served everyone, and I'm like, oh, why is it not working? And I could feel this, it's just a low, like, I'm not feeling bad. I'm not sad or upset or anything. It's just a little bit of uncomfortableness. And I was like, oh, and then it hit me. I forgot to add the cream, and I poured the cream in. I'm like, oh, that's why it didn't taste it. No matter what I did, I tried adding different things, and like, no, it just didn't taste the way it's supposed to. So I had forgotten to add the cream. And then I walked around and I noticed that I had this like, oh, and my parent-in-laws are here now, so like, and I was cooking for them, and I was like, oh, I wanted to make a nice dish for them, and I started feeling like I walk around and I'm having like just a slight edge, just a slight tension towards that. I thought, that's so ridiculous. Like, why am I ruining this moment just because I happen to do something wrong? Well, and I was like, well, it's because I had so much meat. It costs a lot of money to make a dish like that. It's because I think I make, is it 18 or 20 portions? It's a lot of food, and if you ruin it, there's like a lot of food that's wasted. So you need to have trust and faith that you can actually pull it off. But I felt that, oh no, because I did this wrong, perhaps, then I should feel bad. But then I really started questioning, like, why? And I could see how it was so obvious that, yes, this didn't go well. And in the end, it did go well, but we didn't eat that because that'll be next time we eat it. But I could feel how I felt bad from that. And then the idea of feeling good, just like, no, I'm not allowed. I'm like, well, wait a minute. It's just a feeling. Like, why am I doing this? Because it's nothing absolute. There's nothing like divine or anything special with it. It's just a feeling. And for some reason, I am choosing to have a bad feeling now, because when I made this pasta bolognese, it just didn't work out the way it was supposed to. And by doing that, and by really looking at it and feeling like, why am I doing this? Like, where is it coming from? And really just letting it go, feeling that feeling, like, I messed up. I wanted it to be like this. And I had an identity with, like, I am a good cook. I can do the spices. I do this. And like I said, my parent-in-law's here. And I wanted to make a good impression with like good food for them. And then it failed. And that is the self. That's why the self was feeling like, oh, like actually, like I was supposed to do this good and it didn't work out. And that's why I'm feeling bad. So letting go of that does hurt the sense of self, because you're quite literally hurting your feeling of you. You're like going against it, like saying, no, I'm not going to feel this bad feeling just because something I identify with doesn't turn out the way I want it to. And it's a shift. Even for me, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And even for me, there are certain things that just, sometimes I miss them. Sometimes they're so tiny, or sometimes they're so deeply ingrained that it's very difficult to let go of it. But the thing is, the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more or the less it makes sense to not feel good. It just doesn't make sense to feel bad. Why would you walk around feeling bad? It just doesn't make any sense. And there's a shift when that happens, and you really start feeling like, no, there's no reason why I would feel bad about this. That makes sense? And can you see how there's a shift in your mind that you need to do, where you stop thinking or stop feeling that you, for some reason, that it's okay to feel bad. This bad feeling of when the self is not validified. Is that the right word? Validified. When I'm not getting the kind of social proof or social acknowledgement or whatever it is that I want. And there's like a lot of people who live on this, who believe that this is the most important thing, that other people tell me that I'm so good, or what if I don't, because I identify as someone who's good or bad at this, and if I don't do that, then I should feel bad. And there really is no reason to let it work like that. There really isn't any reason why you have to do that. But I do know that it's difficult to not always fall into that trap. People are very quiet today. And that makes me feel bad. No, it's quite okay. It's just, I follow a lot what people say. So if people give me good questions, good things to talk about, it's much easier for me to discuss them. So this whole idea of feeling good, when you start seeing this, and you stop looking outside or looking to the story of your life as a source of your well-being, and you see that, hey, I can choose this the whole time. And that's when you start walking around, and all of a sudden there's a feeling of just, I call it being in a good mood, but you could also say that it's just a feeling of well-being. There's just this really nice, solid feeling inside of you when you're moving around, and everything just feels okay. It's like it's okay to be alive. It's okay to be here. I don't need to stress over there. When you walk, you just start walking a little bit slower. You can almost feel this feeling in your stomach that you're being pulled around like this normally, and that feeling kind of disappears, and you just walk around. It's fine. And you start looking at things around you, noticing things, and maybe there's, like when I walked in here now, there was a, call them skogssnegel, a forest snail, and they look very specific and have like lots of stripes, not stripes, yeah, what I call that. Looks like gills on top of them. I have no idea what that is actually. But it just looks really nice, and like you just stop and look at things, and you start enjoying and appreciating the things around you instead of going, oh, I need to go over there, I need to do this. So important that I finish this, and we have all these things, and we just rush. And then one day you die, and then it doesn't matter how much you rushed or didn't rush. So it really is a way of slowing down and being aware of the things around you, which happens, actually, it's not like that. It's more that you enjoy being here, and then automatically you start enjoying and seeing the things around you. But you can also go a little bit from the other way around. If you start looking and really being aware of the things you're seeing, then of course you're going to have the well-being and feeling as well. But most people, especially in Buddhist traditions, miss that you can actually choose this yourself. It's a choice that you make. It's not something that's predetermined or that you don't have any control over. There's this idea in I think we discussed this last time also in Buddhist meditation, that we should observe. Hey Christian, nice to see you. We should observe everything with equanimity and not react towards anything. But the idea that you would actually change your experience into something positive, that doesn't exist. Because there's this idea that we strive for neutrality, of a feeling of everything being just the way it is. Christian, what was it you said last time? I think it was you at least who asked yourself, why am I not feeling good now, or what's hindering me from enjoying being here? There was something like that. Weren't you the one who asked that last time? I think so, at least. I was basically just bringing up how I was going through today a thing where that happened to me, where it was just, and I'm usually really aware of how I'm feeling the whole day, and I notice when I'm in a bad mood, when I'm feeling this, and I just start like to see, like, why am I doing this? Is this how I want to use my time? Because I know that there's only one moment that I can have an experience, and that's now. And am I gonna waste this moment being upset because what was it I did, like earlier yesterday? I accidentally cut a hole in my favorite t-shirt. I have problems with my neck, so I have very few t-shirts that I can wear, and I accidentally ruined it, and I could feel like, oh, I should feel bad about this. Oh wait, I don't need to. And it's kind of strange almost to feel good when something happened that you don't like, because there's still a cause and effect. Cause and effect doesn't disappear, meaning there's still the cause and effect of, I accidentally put my t-shirt on something that was sharp and it poked 2 holes in it. And that means that I have to make a determination. Can I walk around with this t-shirt? Is it too ruined now so that I can't wear it because there's too many holes? If I could buy a new one, I would buy 10 more t-shirts like that, but they don't. Actually, that store went bankrupt, so they don't have it. So there's still things that can be done, but there's not this feeling of, oh, they need to be done, or that my life would be better if they were done. Because that's the feeling we have. That's what kind of drives and motivates us. We feel bad, and we believe if I can just get that t-shirt to be whole again, then I would feel good. Oh, and the thing we do is like, oh, if I would not have put that t-shirt on those scissors, well, actually it was pruning shears that you cut a tree with. If I would not have done that, then I wouldn't have the hole in my plants, which is like, that's idiotic. Like, it's something that happened. I cannot change it. There's 0 point in going around feeling bad about having accidentally ruined my t-shirt. Just like, why? Why would I feel bad? It just doesn't make any sense. And yet we do. We do that a lot. We accidentally do things, or we do things on purpose that don't turn out the way we expect them to, or we change our minds and then we feel bad about them, and we go around like, oh, if only this would have been like that, then I would feel good. instead of just, oh well, I can feel good and just learn from this. I shouldn't put my t-shirt on these pruning shears because they're too sharp. Or I shouldn't treat my friends like this because if I do, they're not going to hang out with me. It's just cause and effect. You don't need to build up this whole story of, I think it was Matsu said one time that it's the difference of, I put it so well, I think it was the last coaching call we have. Instead of just, oh, it's something happening to me, like this catastrophe happening to me. It's like, oh my goodness, I cut the hole in the t-shirt. Instead of it being like that, it's just, oh, I cut a hole in the t-shirt. What am I going to do now? And I have these options, or maybe I don't do anything right now because it was in the evening, so I'm not going to do anything with it now, but I can do something with it later. So we have a hard time imagining what it's like to live life without this constant, like someone just beating us the whole time, motivating us by feeling bad. And we even kind of like it. I mean, my father used to love it. He used to love getting into like, oh, those sons of bitches, and he'd get really upset. And he'd like thrive on that feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna, He was that violent physically, but he would like, write angry letters and stuff. And he liked that conflict because it makes you feel alive. It makes you feel like you are here. And that's the thing, until you've actually experienced peacefulness and stillness, then that might seem like something that's kind of worth striving for. But when you've experienced what it's like to live life in stillness and peacefulness and realize that you don't need to make yourself feel bad to enjoy it. It's kind of, we call it 1,000 needles, 1,000 nålar. It's like when you're a kid, you take both hands like this. You grab one hand here and one hand here, and then you go like this. And you twist your skin, and it feels like 1,000 needles. It's a little bit like that. We do that the whole time. Like, oh, I can feel my arm. Oh, yeah. It's really nice. But just feeling a soft breeze on your arm in comparison is... that's quite literally the difference. Actually, it's even more. But that's a good way of seeing it. When you twist like that, if you take both hands and twist your arm, you can't do it on yourself. No, there's no way you can do it on yourself. It's like, can I do that? No, you cannot take two hands on your one arm. But if someone else does it to you and it hurts so much, that intense feeling, that's what the self feels like, compared to just having a soft wind blow over your arm or something really pleasant. That's the way stillness or peacefulness feels in comparison to having a strong sense of self. There's also the feeling that it should be a reward. We don't believe that we can actually do this ourselves. It's more that I do something difficult, I do a practice that's really hard, and then I'm rewarded by something. But to do what I'm talking about, you have to face that feeling of you actually have to break the sense of self yourself. You have to go against that thing in you that says you should feel bad because you don't have the things you're supposed to have. And see, can I feel good despite that? Because what you're doing is kind of breaking this thing that you've been conditioned to believe that, oh no, you're not allowed to feel good now because you need to do these things. Then you can allow yourself to feel good for 5 seconds. And then you need to move on to the next thing. Because after you made all the money you need to, then you need to find the perfect partner. When you find the perfect partner, you of course need to have the perfect children, perfect house, perfect car, perfect promotion, perfect mistress, perfect vacation. Like there's all these things, and it never ever ends. And it helps to, hey mindful mama, nice to see you. It helps to go through this and really experience life, because after you've done that for a while, it just doesn't make sense anymore. But until you have done that for a while, you also believe what society is telling you. And it's telling us from birth, kind of like, oh, do these things, get this done, and then you will be rewarded. No one tells what the reward is, but some kind of reward. And I think that movie stars and rock stars, they have this more often than the average person, since they get all that stuff. Like, if I could just get famous and get all that, and then there's nothing there. Like, that they believe something's going to happen when I get to that point, yet there's nothing there. And that's kind of disappointing. Nice. Anyone have any thoughts on that, or should we just do the sitting for tonight? Thank you. Yes, it's oh, JVB. Let's see. Yeah, I changed the lighting a little bit. Wanted to make it contrast with the warm colors. This is JVB. How do I genuinely give the relationship in my? How do I genuinely give the relationships in my to evolve without ending them unnecessarily? I at times tend to think the worst of people and stop talking to them, which is making me feel lonely. Do you mean in my life, or what relationships in my? I'm assuming you mean the relationships in your life, right? Stephen, the point is to enjoy the moment. No. The point is not to enjoy the moment. Because the moment would be all the things happening around you, like I'm here, I'm sitting, it's comfortable. The way people talk about it, generally. What I'm talking about is well-being, like cultivating and feeling well-being despite of what's happening in the moment. It's not because of what's happening in this moment. This moment is enjoyable. It's not something that's happening here that is enjoyable. It's just enjoyable to be. And unfortunately, when we talk about enjoying the moment, people kind of tend to talk about the large things around. They don't talk about just this feeling of feeling good. So it's just choosing to feel good. And that's the thing. We make it so complicated. You go to a psychiatrist and you talk to them for 50 times, and then they tell you it's okay. The reason you feel bad and you have anxiety is because when you were a child, your father didn't love you enough. He didn't go to your football games. And then you feel neglected, so now you need to prove yourself. And you go like, oh, I get it. Oh my goodness. I was feeling bad about this for so long, but now I know I can release all this anxiety. I can feel good again. They just gave you an excuse strong enough for you to allow yourself to feel good. But you don't need that. You can choose to feel good the whole time. And the way you practice this is by doing like small things. Just generally seeing that you all throughout the day, we generally go around and feel uncomfortable for some reason or another. So let me go back to JVB. How do I get the evolve without? In my life, time to evolve without ending them unnecessarily. I tend to think the worst of people and stop talking to them. I would say that to me that sounds like fear, because it sounds like you're ending lots of relationships with people around you. And if you think the worst of people, I actually heard someone saying that when you have ADHD, this is like one of the traits that you tend to see, like the bad things in people more than a normal person would. How do I generally give the relationships in my life time to naturally evolve? Yes, that's what I assumed you were saying. That and necessarily. So just don't take them so seriously. And what I mean by that is don't put so much weight behind those relationships. I've had this thing with friends. Before I left as a monk, I had like 100 people I would call my friends, close friends. And they were just people I hang out with. Some of them were completely different from me. Really different interests and just different personalities. But I just liked them as people. I enjoyed being with them. And just, it was just, I enjoy people. And I didn't put so much into every relationship, like, oh, this has to give me this, it has to be like that. Instead, I would just let them kind of be and see what happens with them. If you're ending relationships, that means you're probably unnecessarily judgmental. So then a good way to view this would be the thing that I say, like, what it's all about, the practice, is to feel good or to have a sense of well-being and being forgiving. The way we're forgiving is to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Like, that's the feeling we're looking for, this feeling of non-conflict, of genuinely wanting well for other people. Not because you want something from them or because you want to change them or anything like that. No, just genuinely having a feeling of, oh, you know what, most people are kind. I'm going to want the best for them. And not having a feeling, I need to fight them. And if someone's really hurting you, then obviously walk away from there. But see if you can let go of this feeling of, oh, I want them to suffer. I want this to happen to them or something bad. So look at that distortion you have towards them. What is it that's so painful with that relationship that you feel you need to walk away? I would look at that. So yeah, to generally give them a time, I would say I would look at why are you ending them? Like, what is it that's making you feel so much fear, anxiety, worry? What is it you're so afraid of it's going to happen if you don't walk away? Or are you being too engaged with them? And I'm when I'm reading this question, I'm not reading intimate relationship. I'm reading just friends in general. I might be wrong on that. Let's see, from Mama. I was not enjoying things today, even though everything in my life could be enjoyable. I have holiday, lovely people around me and amazing kids. Still, I felt restless. I need to enjoy the sun. And I notice it, but I couldn't stop or change it. I have this often. I'm aware of it, but feel stuck. It helps to express it to people who don't take it personal or think they need to change something. Or when I look at it, sit with it. But it's difficult in the moment. I keep forgetting it. This is why we try to build up our general awareness, and why we try to, throughout the day, just check in. How am I doing right now? I actually have that with some of my clients. I ask them throughout the day to go and ask themselves continuously throughout the day, how am I doing right now? And it's not to go in and feel like, oh yes, I'm feeling bad because my partner said this to me or this happened. It's not analytical. It's just looking, am I feeling a feeling of well-being, feeling good? Am I in a good mood? If yes, then good. Just keep on looking around you, enjoying, appreciate the world as it is, and just feel good that, oh, it's nice here, and just start enjoying the things around you. And as you do, you'll drop into, like when we do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, where you just say, oh, look at this. That's interesting reflection on this bowl. That's really nice. Huh. And then you feel, oh, that's a nice thing to feel. And oh, there's a strong smell here. It smells like, we call it messing. I don't know the word in English right now. It's an alloy. And then you could taste it even if you wanted to. A child would taste it, I'm sure. So it's just being in a good mood makes you enjoy the world around you. And by asking continuously throughout the day, like, how am I doing right now? What's going on? Not as a judgmental thing, but just seeing, am I feeling good? And if you're not feeling good, then why not? What is it that's hindering you? And many times it will be, oh, someone said something, like in my case that I presented before, I cooked the food and I forgot to put that thing in. It didn't taste the way I wanted it to. So that's why I'm feeling bad. And that's silly. Like, why would I feel bad about that if I now feel bad about that? And then I can look at that and choose not to feel bad. And it's easy with small things, but then gradually you can do it with bigger things. So you continuously throughout the day want to be aware of, how am I doing right now? And the more you lean into feeling well, the more that will become a natural way of living. And the less natural will seem to go around and feel bad about things. And you'll listen to music, or you see stuff on the news and stuff, and you go like, what is wrong with these people? Like, why on earth are they so... conflict just seems ridiculous, because there is no feeling of conflict. It's just people doing things, and then you choose how you want to react towards it. But there's no reason to feel this strong sense of conflict. Any advice on that? Just keep on practicing more. So it's basically what I said. Go around and continuously throughout the day look for, how are you doing right now? And make sure that you're not judging yourself. Because for some people it can be easy. They're like, okay, am I doing... Oh, I'm supposed to feel good, but I'm feeling bad. So now I feel even worse, because now I'm aware that I'm feeling bad. Yes, I often help myself by asking the question, what would I want to change right now? It helps for a bit, but it is still fighting with my own feelings. I need to feel good into it, in my opinion. And yeah, so then you're just making yourself feel bad about feeling bad. And that's another thing to look at. Does that make sense? Like, why are you feeling bad about feeling bad? Isn't it enough to just feel bad? But we tend to like add these things on. And again, I've said this so many times. See this as a long-term process. It's not something that we just, okay, I'm going to do this really hard right now. It's much better to do it softly and have the perspective of years. Like, I'm going to do this for many years, and I'm gradually going to change my way of relating to the world. And then sometimes you have periods where it's just super easy, and you just go around like, wow, I feel so good. Why on earth am I not doing this the whole time? Like, why would I do that? That's silly. And you just brush everything off you, and it's just easy. And then that changes, and you go down, and all of a sudden, like, oh, everything is terrible. And it's a struggle, and I tend to not fight those struggles too much. I'm just aware, okay, I feel like shit right now. And then I look at that feeling, and I try to feel it, and but I don't struggle with it, because struggle is also distortion. So I just let that be, and I do my best to kind of, distract myself, to move away from it, or to allow myself to feel it, meaning that I am here at this thing I'm annoyed at, and I move into and just feeling it. And then by doing that a few times back and forth, it usually just disappears. Sometimes it's more difficult than others. I think I got my answer there. Thank you. You're welcome. I just talk, and then then you guys stop me when I'm done. Nice. So for those of you who are new, we normally chat like this a little bit before, and then we have the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, where we do 5 things we can see, 4 things we can feel, 3 things that we can hear, 2 things we can smell, and 1 thing that we can taste. And then after that we sit for 20 minutes. Today is Monday, so today is guided meditation. On Thursday we have no guiding. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is pretty much what I was just saying now. It's what happens quite naturally when you're feeling well, when you're feeling good, and you walk around. All of a sudden you're not occupied with, oh, I need to change this, I need to get over there. Instead you look around and you say, oh, look at this piece of paper. There's a lot of nice reflections here. And there's like a little bit of snot or something stuck in here. Oh yeah, look at that. And it feels kind of, yeah. So you see the texture, you see the wrinkles, you see how everything looks. And you just see, like, this is actually enjoyable to see. Most things are enjoyable, like most experiences we have are enjoyable. It's just that we make it really difficult to enjoy them. I could say, ooh, well, there's snotty paper. Yeah, I couldn't touch that. Yeah, that's disgusting. I could do that, meaning I could create distortion, but why? This is not something dangerous. I don't need to, like, go down there, or like down there. It's just like I just blew my nose in it, probably earlier this week. I don't remember. Earlier today. So instead, just see this without any kind of value or feeling good or bad. It's like, oh, and actually this is kind of interesting when I do this. Like it looks really cool like this from here. That's what kids do all the time. If you look at kids, they like sit, and then all of a sudden they're just like swinging something up in the air, and then they just hit it at the wall. And you're like, why did you do that? I was just curious to see what happened if I threw it on the wall. Oh, look, there's a mark there. That's cool. Because they don't have the idea that you don't ruin things. My son does that. He'll walk around, and then all of a sudden he'll just go up and go, bam! Just hit me. And like, why? Why do you... No. He's like 3 years old. So we have all these reasons why we can't look at things and enjoy them. So we just say out loud 5 things we can see. I can see this paper. And really look at them. Like I said, the textures, the colors, reflections and shadows. I can see a plastic bag. Lots of reflections and wrinkles, texture, text, stickers. I can see a packaging for a product. I can see a pair of keys. And I can see a roll for a painting. Oh, I could feel that roll actually gave me a distortion. So then I could see, oh, I can see the roll. And then I went into like, oh, that person. I can just move into that, and I can feel that distortion. Like, okay, is it worth ruining this moment because of that thing that happened there? And then it disappears. So when you run into something like this, don't go, oh, I don't want to feel this. Welcome those feelings. Allow yourself. We're not talking about denial or repression or regression or anything. Like, just feel what you feel. Feelings aren't dangerous. They can be overwhelming if you fight them, but if you just allow them to come, they just come and sweep over you. And I've said this before, don't overwhelm yourself. But when you practice this, you will see that there's nothing there that can hurt you. Those were 5 things I could see. Next we take 4 things that we can feel. I can feel my leg. I can feel the hairs on my leg. I can feel the leg on my hand, and I can feel my hand on my leg. And I can kind of bounce my awareness around a little bit. Next, I can feel my timer that I do for the meditation, and I can press it. Oh, it's an interesting feeling. Become curious. Think like a child. How would a child kind of look at this one? Don't eat it. I mean, eating stuff is not good, generally speaking, unless it's food. But just explore things in your surroundings and allow yourself to have fun with them. I can feel. Sorry, we were on feeling. I can feel the carpet. The carpet is very coarse, really different from the other stuff I felt. And I can feel my woolen sofa. This thing is really nice to feel. Those are 4 things I could feel. Next we take 3 things we can hear. I can hear my computer spinning up and down. I can hear an airplane. I can hear my tinnitus. There's 3 things I could hear. Next we take 2 things we can smell. You can smell sweat. I can smell cool air. There's 2 things I can smell. Finally, we take 1 thing we can taste. I'm having a throat pill in my mouth, so I taste strawberry. So start by bringing your awareness to your breath. Just relax your awareness, relax your tension in your body, and just start being aware of breath happening. As we always say, we're not specifically looking for the sensations of breath. Instead, it's more the awareness that breath is happening. And as we said before, the reason that we do this is because that's our gateway into constantly being aware how you're doing right now throughout the day. By using your breath as a tool to be aware of what your mood is, it will help you throughout the day to adjust and see, oh, actually I'm going around and I'm really irritated at this thing that happened right now. And then you can stop yourself from doing that and not follow that. Instead, maybe take a pause and feel, what am I actually feeling? And move into that and let it go. And then turn towards well-being or feeling good. So the breath is just a tool. It's just the vehicle that we use to make it easy for us to be aware throughout the day. It's not something you should stress about. It's not something you should feel bad about. It's not something you should worry about. It's just your breath. And the only thing we're observing are these sensations that are happening inside of us. to just be aware of breath happening inside of you as you're breathing in and breathing out. This is also not breath work. In other words, we're not trying to change how we feel inside our body by doing specific breathing patterns. Instead, we're just letting breath happen by itself, as it would throughout the day. Many people believe that when you get relaxed, you take really deep breaths and you go, that is most definitely not being relaxed. When you feel relaxed, you'll notice that your breath slows down and becomes very shallow and very calm and very slow. And sometimes it might even feel like it's disappearing. So don't judge what your breath is doing. Instead, let it happen. If it goes up and becomes deeper and slower, then that's fine. If it becomes shallow and really still, that's also fine. It's just what's happening right now. And many times when we are upset with our breath or we're worried about something, if you look at it, it's just a feeling inside of you. The breath can make you feel bad sometimes because observing the breath feels painful. And that's okay. Don't fight it. Just let it happen and observe your breath. Now, to make it a little bit easier to do this, we'll do an exercise where we count our breaths from 1 to 8, and then down again from 8 to 1. When I do this, I'll be breathing quite strongly, so you'll hear me go. That's not to show you how to breathe, it's just to let you hear whether I'm breathing in or breathing out. It's also a technique that you don't need to do the whole time. Someone asked me recently if I should go around and count my breath the whole day because it was so powerful for them. And I said, well, you can if you want to, but generally speaking, counting the breath is basically what you do when you're just trying to still your awareness down and to really grab hold of it and make sure it calms down. We count our breaths from 1 to 8, then down again from 8 to 1. Many times it's enough to just do this a few times before your meditation or throughout the day when you get lost. And that will calm you down, and then you can start observing again. So I'll do it with you once, and then you can continue by yourself. Breathing in and out. 1. In and out. 2. In and out. 3. In and out. 4. In and out. 5. In and out. 6. In and out. 7. In and out. 8. In and out. 7. In and out. 6. In and out. 5. In and out. 4. In and out. 3. In and out. 2. In and out. 1. Now keep counting your breath from 1 to 8, And then down again from 8 to 1. As you breathe in and out. 1. In and out. As you're sitting, there might be some uncomfortable feelings that you're feeling. Maybe there's something that upset you before you sat down. Maybe there's some fear of something that will happen after. Or maybe you're just walking around with a general sense of, I shouldn't sit still, I should do something else. I should be achieving something, moving my life forward. I should be thinking about my next step with my plan or with my project. If you look at that, you'll see that that's actually an uncomfortable way of living. There's this feeling of, it's not okay to be here, but if I could just get over there, then I could allow myself to feel good. I want you to keep on observing your breath with that wide sense of awareness that we use. And I want you to see, is there a way to let go of that tension? Don't focus on the problem itself, of the thing that has happened or the event that will happen. Instead, focus on the feeling. What does it feel like to feel this tension, to feel bad about this? And see, is there a way that you can consciously by yourself let it go? Just give it up. In other words, we're not looking for a meditational, blissful experience that will come back from when there's no suffering. Instead, I want you to face that suffering and see, is there a way that you can actually let it go yourself? How would that be? How would that work? What would you do? One way of letting go of these difficult sensations is to use the method of a Ho'oponopono, which simply means you say to that feeling, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And when we say these things, we're not trying to feel something specific. Instead, what we're looking for is a sense of relief, a sense of acceptance, a sense of forgiveness, of letting go, of not fighting anymore. Because by saying, I'm sorry, we're giving up the fight. Please forgive me. We're not fighting anymore. We're asking for forgiveness. Thank you. It means that we're accepting that what has happened has happened. I love you, which means that you accept the other thing or person as it is. This does not mean that you agree with them. This does not mean that you will stay in that situation. It just means that you're letting go of the feeling dissonance, the discord, the feeling of distortion between you and this event or person. And instead looking for that sense of peacefulness, of stillness that's always within you. thank you for the sitting. It's a bit painful for me. I have a lot of pain in my neck today, so it's a little bit more difficult to sit, but it was still nice. And it's so interesting when you start looking at this shift of allowing yourself to feel well-being or feeling good. And why not? It really is, it's, if there's anything you should take away from watching these videos and everything I do, that's it. Just breaking that idea that the way you feel is somehow dictated by what you experience in your life, inside or outside. And that the thing that's always there inside is this stillness or peacefulness. Hey, Esperanza, nice to see you. JV, Martin, if I may build up on my earlier question. I'm actually gonna, well, we can do it very quickly, JVB, or we can do it next time, but let's see. Very nice to use Ho'oponopono towards a distortion. I have only used it towards a person. It doesn't need to be a person. It's the distortion itself, because what you're looking for is that feeling like releasing, just not fighting it. And that doesn't have to be a specific thing. We're not working with solving these things outside. That doesn't matter. We're not doing personal development. We're kind of trying to change the whole system. You're welcome, Christian. JB, to be honest, I walk away from relationships, mostly intimate ones, before the person I'm interacting with has a perceived chance of hurting me. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying. There's something there that you have a fear of, which is the fear of being hurt. So then what you would look at would be this feeling of, this is me, that's that person over there, and this thing happening here, that feeling of, oh, they can hurt me. That is a scary feeling to face. Now, what many people are looking for is an advice. Oh, you should do this and everything will work out. No one can give you perfect advice, and I'm not in the business of giving advice. The only thing I do is helping you look at that feeling that you have there in between and letting go of that, because then you can take action, not from fear, not from anger or from hurt or rejection, but just from what you want, and maybe realize, hey, I don't even want to be with this person. I'm just with them because I'm so afraid of being alone that I ended up with them anyway. Or you see, you know what, I really like this person. I'm willing to take the chance. It took more like, yeah, absolutely. Bring that question up again. And for everyone, look at this. Like I said, this thing happening here, move into it and see that you don't have to feel bad by these things. It really is. When you start seeing this, like, oh, I don't have to feel bad, it's kind of a shift. Then the problem becomes actually doing it and learning how to enjoy, not feeling, woohoo, I'm feeling so good because something happened, but just this sheer sense of well-being, of inner stillness, of peacefulness, of just enjoying being here. But we have many more sessions to do that. Thank you everyone for tonight, and I'll see you again on Thursday. Have a nice week.